Hi, my name is Colin Shaw. I'm the founder of Beyond Philosophy, and today we're continuing our interview with Darren Cornish, who's the Director of Customer Experience at Norwich Union, part of the Aviva Group. So what happened after you presented the Motor Claims Customer Mirror?
Yeah, the impact of the motor external mirror, right? Actually, I mean, we haven't talked a lot about the purchase experience. There was lots, particularly on the web, that was inside out and needed revisiting and improving from the customer's perspective. But right from there through, and particularly the claim came as a real wake up call to us as an organisation, and led to, as I said, some enormous organisational effort to drive up the customer experience. On the back of that, the household team, our property team, also wanted to follow a very similar exercise. Again, they were deluged with lots of customer research, but had nothing that really brought to life in such a way what it felt like to a customer to insure their property, their house with us, and then potentially find themselves having to go through a claims process. So we, Beyond Philosophy, on our behalf, rented a flat or an apartment, a ground floor flat or apartment, and deliberately flooded that apartment and put in the claim call that evening, saying that the tenant, the person who was renting the property, had returned from work to discover that their entire property was 6 inches deep in water. Really fascinating, the household moments of truth. Because it involved so many suppliers and contractors. About 80% of the interactions a customer will have through a property claim are likely to be with suppliers who we have put in place to actually deal with the claim. So whether they're building contractors, whether they're people who dehumidify the property after a flood, with plasterers, electricians, whatever it may be, loss adjusters, etc. And the flooded apartment, flooded flat, gave us such an enormous insight into how consistently, or actually not consistently, our brand was being delivered through those partnerships, through those supplier arrangements.
What was the result?
The first experience in the flooded apartment, the flooded flat, was for when the contractor arrived. To be fair, only 2 hours after the initial call, so that piece worked really efficiently and effectively. We were happy. The contractor arrived at the property and wasn't able. The policy they had in place with Norwich Union was that they were unable to actually start the process of understanding what the damage was and what then needed to happen as a result of it until the customer had paid the policy excess, so the basic level of payment in the event of a claim. This customer only had debit cards, didn't have cash or a checkbook, and as a result of which, the first thing that actually happened when we sent our nominated person to assist that customer in a situation that was pretty drastic, was that customer was walked to the nearest ATM cash point in order to hand over the money of the excess. Now, you know, the feedback, as you can imagine, from Beyond Philosophy was that this simply devastated any trust and any professionalism in the process, right from the very outset, and it's so hard to recover from that point, no matter how effective and efficient and impressive the experience may be going forward. So that was just a very first example. One of the not necessarily to do with the learnings from that, but when Beyond Philosophy returned to the apartment and the flat after leaving the taps gushing all day, there was a degree of surprise that there wasn't more water damage. What we hadn't realised was that directly underneath this ground floor apartment was a cellar, and in fact down in the cellar there was 6 foot deep of water. so actually all the water was seeping. So we also had to recover for the property owner, who was completely supportive of us doing this work. We also had to make sure that the cellar was dried out and resolved before we vacated the premises. But and I guess I kind of say that a little bit lightly, but the stories around what we've done with Beyond Philosophy have just become legendary in the organisation. I mean, our staff, our managers, our senior leadership have just been so constantly surprised by some of the learning, some of the anecdotes, some of the stories, some of the videos, that it's created just continuing energy for the effort to become a better customer experience provider.
Thanks very much, Darren. So this is the end of this clip on how Norwich Union have gone about improving their customer experience. There is a series of other clips that you'll hear Darren speaking on, and we hope you check those out. And in the meantime, if you'd like any further information, then please check out our website.